Willie. Smack a nigga silly, play tricks with they money. Too hungry, fake that. Had to do a move I learned from Harvard. Desperate for greenbacks, $1 million steakhouse. The meaning of this, Brooklyn H. Mill sticky. We come at us, be heavy every time, ever ready. Cool, as Rick, gritty, shitty. Believe, no tricks up the sleeve. We back straight at your headpiece. Not meaning no harm to make it bad for your health. Raise up, ease up, don't make it bad for yourself. Penalties are momentary. Memories of the lost who paid costs was handled by yours truly. Raise up, ease up, ease up, raise up, ease up, raise up, ease up. Warriors come out to play. Apparently extraordinary, don't compare mine to legendary. Crossing thin lines, quoting my lines is purely entertainment. My same shit, I'll blow your back out, frame it. The same shit will leave you on the floor brainless. Talking to me, best be making sense. Talking at me, prepare for ducking. Only showering, cheering, you hollering. Traits laced up with talents. Clean hands saying no violent. Fuck with nothing to lose. Ready to bust, step with mine. Unbeliever, lucky, ill choice. You lost chance. Better to dance with the devil in the darkness. Slow down.
If you're not Stewart, what the hell are you doing? Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. The number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. I'm going to get into some football here in a second. Colin Kaepernick goes home, and I mean real home. We'll talk about that here in a second. But I keep mentioning how things have really changed in the NBA and why they're putting so much emphasis on the summer league stuff, and ESPN's pushing this stuff out. And every day it seems like there's some talk about the NBA, even in the offseason. The reason is, if you remember, a couple of years ago, ESPN and who was it, TNT, I believe, Turner Sports, they did a deal with the NBA, like in the 2014 calendar year, for 9 years and $24 billion. You did hear me correctly. I said billion with a B. ESPN did a deal where they're going to have to come out. They pay about 1.2, and I'm looking at it right now. They pay about $1.4 billion a year, while Turner is going to pay $1.2 billion a year. 9 years, $24 billion. Okay? And the league, the deal actually started up prior to the 2016-17 year. So when you turn around and you see Otto Porter get 4 years, $100 million, even last year, you go back to Mike Conley last year, at the beginning or in the summertime before the start of the 16-17 season, when Mike Conley got this richest contract in NBA history, and you just saw James Harden just got this ridiculous, contract a couple of days ago, and Steph Curry got this Supermax deal as well. But when you see Otto Porter get 4 years, $100 million, and when you see J.J. Redick 1 year, $23 million, that's where it all comes from. Right. And I remember, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I remember, and I'm going to talk more about J.J. Redick here in a second. I remember when Colin Cowherd, I remember reading a story, I believe it was, when Colin Cowherd left ESPN and went over to Fox, one of the reasons he gave in an interview on why is he just didn't think that the business model was sustainable at ESPN. And what he was talking about was this deal. He wasn't talking about anything else. He was talking about this deal. He didn't see how the network could sustain themselves given the NBA $1.4 billion a year for 9 years. And he thought that ultimately everything would crumble. I mean, the foundation would crumble. And listen, if you really think about it, what happened a couple of months ago where they made all of those firings, and they have been making firings. They've been firing off and laying off a bunch of people for the last couple of years. The firings and the people losing their jobs a couple of months ago is in direct correlation to this deal. Okay? So it's a great thing for the players. Hell, J.J. Redick getting $23 million. A spot-up shooter getting $23 million. Right. But really, do you think that they're getting $24 billion in sponsorships, and I'm sure they did marketing studies and they did all these different, focus groups, and they have all these financial analysts that says, yes, this is the amount that we need to pay, and we'll recoup this amount of money from sponsors, from advertisers, with this number. So I'm sure they did their due diligence, but I don't know. $24 billion? Billion with a B. And once again, you're seeing the direct result of it, man, from a negative standpoint for a lot of cats getting fired. But you're seeing the positive standpoint from it. A lot of NBA players just getting paid. Now, I will argue this, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. A lot of these guys, getting this money, man, I just think it's ridiculous. I mean, period. I posted something on my Facebook, man. It's been probably 2 days now. And basically, I asked a question. I was sitting there thinking about it, man. Something that flashed on my social media about Lil Yachty. And then earlier, I saw something about J.J. Redick. And I asked the question, which one is a bigger travesty? A spot-up shooter in the NBA getting $23 million talking about J.J. Redick, or a mumble rapper being one of the hottest rappers out right now, Lil Yachty. And I mean, 90% of the people agree with me, and they understood the point I was trying to make. In relative terms, the point was, in relative terms to other people in their profession that do what they do, past and present, it's not on par. You compare Lil Yachty to Rakim or Biggie Smalls or Jay-Z or anybody like that, it's just ridiculous, okay? And J.J. Redick, who's a solid player, who's a much better player, in the NBA than I thought he would be. J.J. Redick, a spot-up shooter, a glorified spot-up shooter. That's what he is. He's basically Craig Hodges, John Paxson or somebody like that, Steve Kerr. J.J. Redick getting $23 million? Something is wrong with that. Something is inherently wrong with that. It's ridiculous. And that's the point I was trying to make. But you naturally going to have those people, you hating on so-and-so. Why you mad? Because they get money? No, actually, I'm not mad that they're getting money. The post had nothing to do about how happy I am that these guys are getting their money. And talking about Lil Yachty and J.J. Redick. I'm happy for them. I'm happy they're getting their money. But in relative terms to other people that have done the same thing, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. That's just a fact. And we got to stop with this darn, a participation award mentality. Like everything is cool. Everything ain't cool. Lil Yachty sucks. He does. He does. He does. Lil Yachty sucks. And J.J. Redick getting $23 million is ridiculous. J.J. Redick getting $23 million, and I understand they got the money from it. I just talked about that in this ESPN deal. But it just sounds blasphemous that a spot-up shooter, in my opinion, it sounds blasphemous that a spot-up shooter makes $23 million in 1 year playing basketball, and you go back, and I know we shouldn't do this, but this is what I do. This is barbershop-type conversation. Like $23 million, I bet you if you went back to the entire All-Star team from 1982 in the NBA, which were, a ton of great players. I promise you $23 million wasn't made by the entire All-Star team in the NBA back in 1982. You're talking about cats like, I don't know, Moses Malone and Dr. J and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I promise you. So it seems blasphemous that guy would get that much money. But that's the way it is today. And the major reason why it is that way today is because of that deal that the NBA did with ESPN. 9 years, $24 billion. Thus, the emphasis and the spotlight on Summer League basketball. ESPN trying to get their money's worth. Okay? They are promoting the hell out of the Summer League basketball. It's on our conscience and minds every day over the last couple of days, ever since the NBA draft, really. Well, the entire year long. You see a much more bigger spotlight for the NBA. One, because we had a great season and great finals between Golden State and Cleveland Cavaliers, third time in a row. You got these players that they want to highlight, that they want to keep out in the forefront of the sports fans' eyes. Then you had the draft. Then you have this big storyline with LeVar Ball and Lonzo Ball, and make no mistake about it, the storyline from these little outside of the actual game, they're being highlighted by ESPN on purpose because they're trying to get their money back. Think about this now. ESPN's got a lot of stake in us talking about and watching and paying attention to basketball. So, yeah, I probably do believe that if they didn't give, 9 years, $24 billion to the NBA, maybe they wouldn't highlight and talk about LeVar Ball and Lonzo Ball and all these different little stories like this as much as they do now. Maybe they wouldn't. There's no maybe about it. They definitely wouldn't be talking about it this much. But that's why, because they have a huge investment. They have a huge stake in making sure that the NBA is at the forefront of our thoughts as sports fans. Yeah. 9 years, $24 billion. Otto Porter, man, he's good. I mean, he's a solid player. But do you think Otto Porter, and I'm a Georgetown fan, so I watched Otto Porter when he was in college, okay? Otto Porter is solid? Like, if Otto Porter gets $25 million a year, like, how much would Kareem Abdul-Jabbar be worth in 2017? $200 million a year? No, really. You giving Otto Porter and J.J. Redick $25 million a year. If Kareem played now, and you got to imagine what Kareem and Magic and Larry Bird and Dr. J and all of them cats are saying watching these deals. Like, I know Dr. J is pissed off. I know Doc is like pissed off every time he turns on the TV. You giving punk-ass Otto Porter $25 million? Wow, horrible timing. Like, I would be so pissed off if I was a NBA legend that played back in the day, man, watching Otto Porter get $25 million and J.J. Redick get $25 million. Crazy. Hour number 2 coming up next.
Ways of the world, ways of the war. My words are direction, thoughts put down for perfection, for dead in minds, resurrection, for hard heads a lesson, towards the feeling, true confessions, daily movement, progression, handle minds with aggression, respect my essence not to get caught in intersections, like a lethal weapon, or safety for protection, here today be here for tomorrow, granted like words and scriptures for you to follow, pay attention, not all man's have good intentions, likely to stay in one dimension, put in place with discretion, know you're rating this one, see how deep things get, pure elevation, set it off to cure a nation. Here today, be here for tomorrow. Granted like words and scriptures for you to follow. My man, here today, be here for tomorrow. Granted like words and scriptures for you to follow. My brah, here today, be here for tomorrow. Granted like words and scriptures for you to follow. My seed, here today, be here for tomorrow. Here today, be here for tomorrow. Cock this so it's balance the bullets. We all holding full clips. Ways of the world forever. Keep my peeps in bullshit. Drama that, another episode of the habitat. You see it ill and abstract. We live it real and that's that. Reality fact. See your brother lying on his back and another brother holding the gap. Cain and Abel had they beef a while back. Not for every day. Niggas should react. Bodies dumped out on the floor like a Roots video. You gotta see the show. You not living like you want more. My brother is my keeper. Spray your block with street sweeper. Heard the code of the sleeper. Why you wanna live high? Why for Grim Reaper? Live your life. Get the thumping through your speaker. Only the few come around with a chosen run. You still have wits when I hold for bun. Of course I never think twice about busting. You only get spared one, cousin. Here today, be here for tomorrow. Granted like words and scriptures for you to follow. My man, Here today, be here for tomorrow.